Hello, Angelica here. By the way, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so for today's dinner, I'm going to make creamy, spicy chipotle pasta. I've actually done a recipe similar to this. It was like a year or so ago. It's just a different type of pasta, but today I'm going with penne. I'm going to be using 1 pound of pasta here. Some grated Parmesan cheese. Here I have 2 to 3 cloves of garlic minced. This was 1 small onion that I sliced. For the creamy part, I'm adding crema mexicana or Mexican crema. This is table cream. Here I have my chipotle peppers. I'm going to be using 1 or 2. Of course, you guys know I like the chicken flavored bouillon powder. You could season with salt and pepper, and this is just something simple that I like to make. Okay, so I'm gonna make this puree to break down the chipotle pepper. And one of the last posts that I did, someone wanted to see my chopstick skills. So I basically just put my thumb in the front, rested on the pointer, and the second finger goes for this chopstick, and it's kind of like with these 3 fingers, you know, just kind of, the pointer finger is what kind of controls. So I hope that helps you. That's how I do chopsticks. I don't know if it's correct, but anyways, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna take 1 chipotle pepper. Sometimes I do 2 if it's just adults, but my son doesn't like it super spicy. So 1 chipotle pepper, and I'm gonna do like a tablespoon of the sauce, the adobo sauce. And it has like onions in it as well. Yum. Chipotle peppers are just, they're one of my favorites. I'm also going to add, well, you know what? 1/2 cup of water. This is going to help, you know, the puree. And 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder. You don't have to add that. You could just add 1/2 cup of low sodium chicken broth and adjust the salt throughout the cooking process. But now, puree well. Okay. Oh, and there's my chicken. Okay, so that's the puree. Let me show you how I make my air fryer chicken for this pasta. To start, I'm going to create a seasoning, or use what you have. Here I'm doing about 1.5 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. I'm adding some lemon pepper. I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm also adding some dried thyme. Here I have onion powder. I'm also going to add around 1 teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning blend. Here I have smoked paprika. The ratios are really up to you, so I'm just going to give it a mix. Here I have a little over 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast pieces. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of Italian dressing. This is like salad dressing. Give it a mix. And I'm actually using the Olive Garden brand. Now I'm just going to season with my blend. And because my air fryer is small, I'm going to do this in batches, but the biggest piece I'm going to start with first, and I'm going to set the temp to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. The cook time always varies. These are thin pieces, so it's not going to take very long, about 5 minutes on each side. So after 5 minutes on the first side, I'm going to flip it over carefully. And I did put parchment paper down, but it kind of got stuck. Okay, so it's flipped, and I'm going to add a little more seasoning on the top. And again, the ratios are up to you. So now I'm just going to put it right back into the air fryer and let it go for another 5 minutes. You'll want the internal temperature to reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Chicken's done, so I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove the chicken and let it rest. I'm going to cover with foil, and I'm just going to repeat the process for the other 2 pieces. Okay, so I'm going to start cooking the pasta. I'm going to add like 1 tablespoon of the bouillon powder. You could add your salts. Now for the pasta. Give that a mix, and you're going to bring it to a boil and cook until desired doneness. I'm going for about 10 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to work on this sauce. 1 tablespoon of butter in a preheated pan. I need to crank up the heat a little. Now saute your onion. Now for the garlic. The garlic does not take long to saute. Just cook it, but don't burn it. I'm gonna add some garlic powder, maybe a half teaspoon. The same amount of onion powder, half teaspoon, quarter teaspoon of smoked paprika. You could use regular. Give that a mix. Now I'm going to add my little chipotle puree. Actually, it's more like a chipotle broth. And I'm gonna let this cook or just gently simmer for about 3 minutes. Okay, so this has simmered. Now I'm adding at least, this is a cup of this Mexican crema. Like I said, 8 ounces of heavy cream definitely works. Let's give it a mix. This tastes and smells amazing. Before I add the pasta, I am going to add a little bit of Parmesan, and it's really to taste. Maybe start with, I don't know, a 1/3 cup. Mix that, and if this gets too bubbly and starts boiling too much, I'm gonna turn it down. Actually, I'm low, because you don't want anything to separate. You just want this to be nice and creamy. By the way, I went ahead and shut off the heat. Okay, so the pasta's drained. Going into my cream sauce. Now give it a mix. I'm gonna add some more Parmesan cheese. You could also add some fresh parsley. I'm gonna add a little bit of dried, just a little sprinkle here. There we go. And this is my creamy chipotle pasta. Let's go with some pepper on top. And this is dinner. Creamy chipotle pasta with air fryer chicken breast. I have more chicken breast. This is just for presentation purposes, but dinner's gonna be good, and it really wasn't that hard. It was kind of easy. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.